Say My Name by Destiny's Child. Right, so the big thing with today's Throwback Thursday song is to do with letting the chords ring and also letting the notes go in on top of each other. So as an example, keeping that held down, then your next chord. Then finally. Now on this next one, make sure you get that stretch on. And to get stretches on, keeping an eye on my thumb here above the fretboard, just drop it right in behind and you're going to be able to get that stretch. And I'm using my ring, middle and index there. Then the pinky. You can hammer it on if you wish. Okay, so we get... It sounds a bit smoother than going. So that is the first round of chords. Now in the second round of chords there is a bit more of a stretch going on, but the good news is you have options. You always have options on guitar. If you're ever doing a chord that is a fair stretch, you look up, go online, you'll find alternate shapes for it. It might not sound exactly like it, but at the same time it will get you to the end of the tune. So the chord in particular I'm talking about is, if we look, we're going to see that we have that again and that again. Okay, now taking a look at the next chord, it's a fair bit of a stretch. So you're really going to want to get your index finger, middle and ring, and you're going to want to drop your thumb because we have this big stretch coming. The thing I often do for these sort of stretches, I saw it on a Hosier video. He was playing a song that had a lot of stretches in it, and you could notice in the video he had his right leg tilted up, just up off the ground. And if you keep a close eye on my guitar, you're really going to see that it does give me more stretching capabilities. So here it is regularly. Now I'll bring up the leg, and all of a sudden the guitar allows me to stretch. So my thumb has disappeared around the back again, and then my pinky goes on the 8th fret of the A string. Disclaimer, do not try and be a hero. If this feels really uncomfortable, it's like a yoga sort of a chord. Just stretch a bit into it, but if you really feel pain, back on it, okay? It's F minor 7. Sounds really nice. Now, in terms of your tone with this tune, starting off really pick around the bridge, and then as you get to this one, this F minor 7 chord, I'd go here. Sounds really nice. Okay. If you're the type of player who's right now thinking, I'll never get that stretch, the best advice I could have is, if you're the type of player that's thinking, I won't get that stretch, the best type of advice I'd have is just take it a day at a time. Start off by just seeing how far you can get your pinky to stretch up there, while at the same time just trying to release any tension in your hand. Like, the last thing you're going to want to do is keep it really tense and try and get it that way. So drop the thumb, relax, 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 and get that stretch in. Now, if you're like, no way am I going to get that anytime soon, what you can do is you can use the F minor we had from the previous round. So it will get you by it. Now finally, it fairly picks up with the last two chords, so it's going to go. This took me a while, I don't even have this fully proper yet. So it goes. Taking a closer look at it, my thumb is at the top, middle, index, and I let those ring like the other bits that came before. Then ring and index to finish it out. But note the way my thumb stays on, and also it stays pressing on. It sounds like this. If I stop pressing my thumb on those last two notes, this is how it sounds. It just kind of fades into nothing. And finally, this one's a bit handier. It's like our G with the B bass sort of shape. So So we all together. And that is all of the intro of Destiny's Child, Say My Name. There's other bits in it, other cool bits, but this is the main bit I really want to show you today. So it's a good finger picking workout. In terms of fingers, I'm not going to really say do this finger, do that finger, do another finger. It's up to you. The only bit of advice I'd have is you have 4 fingers here and the thumb. Make use of as much of them as possible. Like usually I'd use the 4 here. I like to use my pinky at times as an anchor. I put it usually down here, and when I do, my fingers won't be able to move that far away from the strings. But if I don't, there's a bit more spring in the hand that makes control just a bit trickier. All right, until next week.